All right, welcome back.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we return from executive session and advise that no action was taken during the board during that executive session. Anyone want to second that?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
All right, the next item to cover is the consideration of the memorandum of understanding for approval regarding the county and the Police Benevolent Association. We'll ask our counsel, Gary DeLaverson, Labor Advisor, to give a brief overview of this contract and answer any questions that anybody may have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. So this is an 8.5-year contract, which is following the pattern that you've already approved on the already existing collective bargaining agreements between the superior officers, the detectives, and the county. This contract with the PBA follows a failed contract that had failed about 1.5 years ago with the union. This agreement is very similar to that, although there are some changes. Importantly, the agreement follows the 8.5-year 14.76 economic pattern, and it's also consistent with what's inside the collective bargaining, inside the labor reserve to fund collective bargaining agreements. This would be the third of the 6 collective bargaining agreements between the county and its represented workforce. It would leave open the IPBA correction officers and CSEA where negotiations are continuing. But you have the agreement in its terms in front of you. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions?
A comment too, Mr. DeLaverson, I appreciate your hard work and the fact that we're here where we are and your diligence in sticking to it between versions. I
Thank
think
you.
that it's been a productive exercise for us, and looking forward to the final agreements being resolved as well. In my view, Mr. Chairman, it's exactly what we asked for, right? It fits the financial plan, it fits the model we provided, it's within the framework we required, one observation is that although it's an 8-year deal, it also expires in 4 years, right? Because some of it's retro, so we probably need to be ready for the next one. And also, I do note one of the provisions, and this is it's been 9 years in the making, but Section 8B notes that this agreement will be incorporated in what refers to which we hope is at least, consolidated collective bargaining agreement, which is something that NIFA ordered on or about May 3rd, 2014.
Yes.
So that is good to see too. It'll be good to see that is in one discoverable place where perhaps even the public requesting access might be able to find things and do what we do in the business world, where you can search documents and find information. So I
Leaving aside
appreciate
the public access issue, but yes, there was a collective bargaining agreement that is enforceable, that does require this. That requirement, though, is on both sides. It
Yes.
requires both the county and the union to participate in the creation of the consolidated collective bargaining agreement, which will then incorporate the terms of the MOU that you are approving, or I hopefully will approve.
And I
today.
believe that would start 6 months from minutes from now.
That's right,
So
upon your approval.
appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No further comments.
I would just say I think it is a good agreement in terms of it's not being that much different than the one that was previously approved that failed, but it does a lot of things that will help the county in the future in terms of capping, termination pay, providing more appearances and more work, providing necessary training for the officers, and some of that at the request or insistence of the head of the PBA, who was interested in issues like mental health and other things, to try to have good, proper training. So it's got a lot of good things in it for both the taxpayer in terms of certainty of costs for the county and the budget and capping certain costs, and as well as providing certainty to the police force in terms of their pay going forward. So I think it's on balance. I think it's a good agreement for both the county as well as the officers. So thank you again, Gary.
Mr. Chairman, I failed to do what I should have done, which was to make a motion to approve it so that we could discuss it.
Like
Being the
first.
second person in my family who's ever done this with you. It's just been a few years since the last time.
It has.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed?
I move to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Yes, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good evening, and thanks for waiting around.
Thank you.